Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Atha Panchadashodhyayah. This is the 15th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, and this is the 15th discourse of Bhagavan Sri Krishna on Atma Vidya to Sri Arjuna. The name of this chapter is Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Spirit. The essence of the Upanishads is Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. And that concept is very well explained lucidly by these 20 shlokas of this chapter by Sri Bhagavan Krishna. So the essence of the Upanishad is explained in this chapter. So let us see about this chapter. Urdhva moolamatha shakham ashwatham prahuravyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda sa vedavit. Urdhva moolam adha shakham. So in this shloka, a tree is described, and it is a metaphorical description of Brahma, Satya, and Jagat Mithya. And normally in this materialistic world, the trees will grow in differently. That is, what we know about the trees is the roots of the tree will be in the soil, under the soil, and there will be trunk, and it will branch out, and it will be a very big tree. But here in this shloka, the Ashwatha Vriksha is explained, is taken as a metaphorical for the description. And Ashwatha Vriksha means we all know that peepal tree. But here this tree is described as Urdhva Moolam. The roots of the tree is above. It is above, and Adha Shakham, all the branches are down. It is just coming below. So the root is on the top and the branches are below. And they speak of this indestructible tree. So the trees in this materialistic world are subject to time. They will fall off by time. But this tree is indestructible. It has its root above and all the branches are spread below. Chandamsi yasya parnani. Parna means the leaves. And the leaves of this tree are the chandas. That is, chandas means the Vedic hymns. So the Vedic hymns, what it denotes here is the Karma Kanda of the Vedas. So these leaves, they are the Vedas, and the root of this tree is above, and all the branches are below, and it is such a lushful tree. It has many, many branches and leaves, and the leaves are the Vedas. Yastam Vedasa Vedavitu. One who knows about the tree or this description, he is the knower of the Vedas. So why are the Bhagavan is telling that the roots are above? It implies that above or below is only for this materialistic world, for the transactional reality. Just imagine this wide, vast universe, infinite universe. Where is the top and below and sides? We say above, below and sides regarding with the position of the sun or the position of this earth. But when you take this open universe, this solar system itself, including the sun, is just a hanging. There is no above or below or sides for it. Just take this earth itself, it is just a hanging in this open space. So why did Bhagavan say that the roots are above? Because it implies the higher level of consciousness, which is so subtle. The roots, it form the adhisthana for the tree. Just like this, Bhagavan is telling about this root because it forms the adhisthana, foundation. The foundation is above, which is the higher level of consciousness, which implies Brahman. So Brahman is the foundation, and from that this creation has evolved. From Brahman, the creation has evolved, and the creation is comparatively somewhat gross, so it is spread downwards. Even in the materialistic world, when something is very gross, it will go down only. Water also light, it will float. So just like that, the higher level of consciousness, which is Brahman, that is the Adhisthana foundation, and this entire creation or the samsara is evolved from it, and it is branching out, and so it is growing downwards. It is branching out, it is becoming more and more gross, so it is just branching out downwards. Below, it is going below. And the Vedas, that is the Karma Kanda, here it refers to the Karma Kanda. These Karma Kanda, they form the leaves. Actually, in this materialistic world, these leaves that covers the tree or that covers its branches. We cannot really see the branches in a very healthy tree, is it not? Even the people tree, the leaves will cover the branches. And these leaves give beauty and attraction to that tree. Just like that, the karma kanda of the Vedas, they give a beauty and attraction to that jiva. A jiva depends on the karma kanda when he wants to satisfy his desires. So it gives this karma kanda, it gives an attraction to the jiva. And this karma kanda, or by the desires or the passions of a person, the real nature of the jiva is hidden behind it. Just like how the leaves hide the real form of the branches. If there are so if you take a lashful tree, then we cannot see the branches. We have to wait till winter to see the branches. After all the leaves shed off, we can see the real nature of the tree in the real world, in this transactional world. Just like that, the reality of the jiva is hidden by this Vedas. That is, it implies the karma kanda. So one who understands this is a knower of the Veda. The creation or the samsara is dependent on Brahman, which is above, and it is dependent on Brahman, and it evolved from Brahman. It came out from Brahman. Because this creation is formed by the Shakti of Brahman, which is called as the Maya, so it is coming downwards. It is spreading downwards. This creation is said as the Pravaha Nitya, which implies that it keeps on going. It is not permanent. It keeps on going, but it is ever existing. But the perfect example of this Pravaha Nitya is the flowing river. So they will say that when you stand on the banks of the river, you will not see the water in the river twice, which implies that when you will see the water, it will flow off. So another new water is coming. So you cannot see the water twice, but the water will always exist. So that just like this creation, it keeps on going, but you cannot see the same thing. Just this moment, just see the atmosphere. Is it the same the next moment? No. Maybe we are not aware of the change, but the entire creation, this entire surrounding will change the next minute. So that is the Pravaha Nitya, and the leaves of this tree or this entire samsara itself is Pravaha Nitya. It keeps on changing, but it will exist also. The Karma Kanda, it protects the person and it beautifies the person, give all his materialistic desires satisfied. It is an attraction for the person and it will help him. The Karma Kanda rituals will help that person to earn more and more punya, because even when we have wealth or money or anything, we cannot enjoy it. Only when we earn the wealth and money or whatever it is by punya or by dharma, then we can enjoy it. It is very common in this world, is it not? Many rich people, they cannot enjoy their money due to many problems from various aspects of life. But a person who earned the money by punya or by dharma, then he can enjoy it. So just like this karma kanda, it beautifies the jiva, but it will help him to earn punya, but it won't give jnana directly. It hides the swarupa of the jiva. So now one may think, what is the use of this karma kanda in the Veda? Why can't Bhagavan directly go to jnana kanda? It is because only when the urge in a person is satisfied, then he will understand the temporary nature of whatever materialistic life it may be. Whether it may be power, money, or health, everything is temporary. So, to make him understand the temporary nature of everything other than Brahman, the Karma Kanda is used. So, gradually, when one attains everything, when one's desires are satisfied, then he will go to the next level, which is Jnana. So for that only the karma kanda is used to earn more and more punya and go to the next level. But it hides the swarupa of the jiva. So just like the leaves which hides the swarupa of the tree. And this shloka has a very deep meaning and it is often quoted by many acharyas and gurus in many occasions. Whenever there is a discourse in Bhagavad Gita, anywhere or related to this topic, many acharyas and the people who give discourse on different topics in Bhagavad Gita, they will quote many of the shlokas of this chapter, especially this first shloka, because it is a very unique description of Brahman and Samsara. The next shloka, shloka 2, Bhagavan says, अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृता तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रबालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके. Above, adha, cha, urdhvam, that is below and above, prasruta or spread out, shakaha, the branches. So once when the branches came out from Brahman, it spreads out in all directions. More and more branches, you can say the upashaka, many branches from the main branches, they branch out above and below, everywhere they spread. And they are guna pravriddha, nourished by the gunas of the jiva, which implies that this samsara spreads out more and more by the guna of the people here, or guna of all the beings here. Just imagine, few years back was artificial intelligence present. Now it is a different branch, and it is going to spread out more and more. After some time, it will go off, and another something will come. So just like that, many, not only this is in the scientific field, but in desires also, our desires grow day by day. And it gives many branches. Vishaya Prabalaha, and these sense objects or the buds in that tree of this samsara. The sense objects or they form the buds. Adascha Moolan Yanusantatani. And these branches, upa branches, the side branches also grow from the main branches and they themselves form roots. These are the secondary roots. The primary root is Brahman, and from it this entire tree has come, that is growing, all these branches has evolved and growing downwards. And from this upa branches, sub branches are growing, and we can say it as the secondary branches, and they are also becoming very strong and firm. How does these secondary branches are formed? Karmana bandhini. They are formed by the actions, karmas of the jivas here. So from the primary, the samsara has formed, and these trees or the branches of this samsara are made strong by the gunas of the people here, and they form secondary roots. And these secondary roots are formed by the actions, karma of the jivas here. Manishya Loka, where does it grow? In this world of men. So that is the clear description of samsara. We have come to do our duty. While doing our duty, we branch out and do something else. So that becomes more and more strong, and we do not find a way or to go back or from where we have come, or we forget our real nature. So that's the nature of the samsara. So the primary root of this tree is Brahman, and the secondary root of this tree is the latent impressions in us, that is the karma, that is our prarabdha karma, we can say. Now the third shloka. Narupamasyeha tadhopalabhyate nanto na chadirna cha sampradishtha Ashwatthamenam suvirudhamolam asangashastrena dridhena chitva. In this third shloka, Bhagavan Krishna says, Narupamasyeha tadhobalabhyate. No one can perceive the form of this tree. No one can understand about this tree. It is so complicated. No one can understand about this Brahman or the samsara, everything coming out from it. No one can perceive the form of this tree. Na antaha. No one can perceive the end of this samsara. Can anyone know when it will end? No. Na adi. Nor its beginning. No one knows when it will end and when it has begun. Na ubalabhyate, no one can understand it, nor its sampradishtaha, that is, nor even its foundation. No one can understand its primary root or the form of this tree, when it has begun or when it will end. No one can understand this ashwatha tree, but it is suvirudha moolam, that is, it has developed firm roots in the samsara. This root is not the primary root, the secondary root. It has developed firm root, that is, firm secondary root. How can we cut that root? Asanga shastrena. We can only cut off that root by the weapon of unattachment, by the acts of unattachment, or by the weapon of unattachment, one can cut the secondary root. No one can cut the primary root because it is the adhisthana, and from it this samsara has developed. So when we do the karma, we have made the root more strong in the samsara. If we cut the secondary root by the acts of unattachment, then it is possible to cut the secondary root. This secondary root, it has gone so deep in the samsara, it is very strong. But we can cut this by the asanga shastrena, one can cut it. Now the fourth shloka. Tadaf padam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gatana nivartandi bhuyaha tameva chadyam purusham prabhatye yatah pravrittif prasruta purani. Having cut this secondary root by the acts of unattachment, one should seek for the param padam, that is the supreme goal. Yasmin gatva, having gone there, when we attain there, na nivartandi bhuyaha, no one will return again. There is no return again from that param padam, that is that supreme goal. Having cut this secondary root, which has gone deep into this samsara by the acts of unattachment, if we do it, then we have to seek for the param padam, the supreme goal. Once when we attain there, Yasmin Gatwa, going there, there is no return. There is no return. Bhuyaha, there is no return again. Tameva chadyam purusham prabhatye. And that supreme being or that supreme goal is the primeval Purusha. He is the primeval Purusha. Yada pravritti prasruta purani. It is that primeval Purusha who started, who kicked off this activity, Purani, when? Ancient time. No one knows when it is. We can say only ancient because ancient means going back, back, back. No one knows when it started. But it is started by this Param Supreme Goal, who is that primeval Purusha, and he started this all this activity, that is the activity of this samsara. No one knows when it started, but we can imagine that it started in the ancient time. So reaching that supreme being, that primeval Purusha who started all this in the ancient time, there is no return for that jiva again. This very clearly Bhagavan Krishna says. निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः आध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वै विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसङ्घै गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्. A person who is free, nirmana moha. Moha means delusion. A person who is free from pride and delusion. When will a person develop this pride and confusion, complete moha? When we have that strong individual consciousness. When we think that we are separate from that universal consciousness, then automatically we develop thoughts based on our I consciousness and mamakara. We develop ahankara and mamakara. That is, it is I. We compare it to everything and it is mine. So when we develop all this, we confuse our life completely because we cannot understand the universal concept. So when we go individual, alone, separate from that universal consciousness only by thoughts. Only by thoughts, this ahankara and mamahara are created. By this, we develop our own nest and we will be imprisoned in our nest. So we will be a completely deluded and a person who is egoistic, and we do lot of karmas, and these karmas bind us, and more and by these karmas we will be bound. We cannot be free. We cannot understand our infinite nature. That's what's happening to each and every jiva now. So a person free from pride and delusion means if a person doesn't have that ahankara or mamakara, when he is free from that, jita sangadoshaha, free from sangadosha means evil of attachment. One who is free from the evil of attachment, which implies one who is unattached. Only when we develop this ego or this individual consciousness, we have attachment. Because we feel something insecure. So we want to have everything. We do not realize that that also is temporary, but we want to have it. You might have seen this in among the siblings. When we give something to the younger sister, the elder sister will immediately have something for it because it develops an insecurity. Everything goes to the other person. I may not get it. So it will begin to collect it. Just like that. When we become separate, when we think we are separate, then we want to have something attached to something because we do not feel that this entire universe is ours. So that is developed by the person, ordinary people, but a jnani, he wins over it. Jita sanka doshaha, he wins over that evil of attachment. Adhyatma nitya, a jnani who is always dwelling in the self, absorbed in the self, that is always with the universal consciousness. Vinirvritta kamaha, free from all desires. Of course, when we do not have any attachment, naturally we will not have any desires. Dvandvair vimukta, free from the dualities of the samsara. Bhagavan is telling sukha dukkha sankaihi, just like sukha, pleasure and pain, heat and cold, mana, apamana, honor, dishonor, all this, or the dvandva of the samsara, one who is free from it. That is when we understand that our nature is infinite, automatically we will be free from all this dvandva. And gachanti amudha, a person, amudha means a person who is undeluded. That person will be undeluded by the samsara. He will go padam avyayam tatu. He goes to that supreme goal and he will reach that eternal. That is the eternal primeval Purusha who started off this all the samsara in the ancient time. So to reach, when he reaches that Parampadam, there is no return for him. So a person to reach that supreme goal, he must need all these qualities like free of pride and delusion, free of any attachment, free from the dualities of nature. One must be always observed in the self. So these are the qualities a jnani needs to attain that Parampadam from which there is no return for him. So this completes the fifth shloka. Now I will take a break and continue with the rest of the shlokas of this chapter in my next upload. Yatra yogeshwarah Krishnah yatra partho dhanurdharah tatra shrir vijayor bhuti dhruvani tirmatirmama. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.